Hello, Cryptomallu Club community. I hope everyone is doing great. We have today's AMA session with Hype app. So please welcome our today's guest, CryptoCat. Hello, CryptoCat. How are you?
Hey there.
Hey
Thank you.
there.
I would like to thank you for the opportunity for this AMA, and I'm happy to announce that this is our first hosted AMA, and this is not the first of the AMA series. We have had our own AMA series in our own channel. So if you are interested, you can join our channel and listen to that as well. So thank you, Michelle.
Okay, thank you, CryptoCat. We are looking forward for this session. So are you ready? Can I start my session?
I think on my part, we are ready to go.
All right, let's start the session for today. So, first of all, I would like to know about yourself. Please introduce yourself, your team, what's the role of Dinger team in Hype Apps, and briefly describe your vision behind the project.
Thank you for the question. So you have to know that HYPEAPES has born into a Telegram group of really big and passionate crypto investors. We call ourselves the Apes, and after many weeks and months of investing together, we decided to launch a project where we aspire to reach and create a crypto project that we all want to believe in and that we all want to invest in. And this is how Hype 8 has born.
Or
Uh,
uh,
CryptoCat, we can't hear you speak loudly or just like do something we can hear you properly. Your voice is low.
can you hear me now? I'm speaking quite loud here.
We can't hear you. Just like your voice was fine before, but like now it went low.
Maybe now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but like your voice is very low. Yeah, you can continue. You
You
can
can
continue.
you can press on my name in the voice chat and increase the voice if it's really low for you. You may want to ask somebody else if it's also low for them.
Okay, CryptoCat, you can continue your answer.
Thank you. So I was at the part to describe the role of the Dinger team in Hype 8. You have to know that we are not the same team as the Dinger tokens team. You have to know that Dinger token has reached 130 million market cap, and ever since then they are growing their list of services. And recently they launched Catapult Launchpad, in which we were the very first tokens to launch. And the Dinger team and the developer team of the Dinger team is our technology partners. We are officially in technology partnership with Dinger token, and they help to develop our blockchain contract and everything else that we are planning to do. For example, our staking platform. Uh, I would like to describe the project itself in a brief manner because it's a larger and more detailed project than any other meme token. So please understand that we are not a meme token. We are a very serious project here to change the crypto space. Why? First of all, because we introduced a brand new transaction system. Okay, you know that when you are trading cryptos on the blockchain, you may meet with tax, transaction fees. These transaction fees hasn't been updated ever since they were created. And with our model, our transaction fee model called the dynamic transaction system, which we created, we upgraded this existing transaction fee models. Right now, you are only able to set a fixed transaction fee and later on maybe change it manually. But with dynamic tax system, it's changing dynamically based on the price impact. Okay, so I will talk about this later on, but you have to know that this addition, this innovation, is on par. It's the same kind of innovation that, for example, SafeMoon introduced with deflationary tokens. Our next utility is our venture capital, seed venture capital. This is Ape Capital. We call it the Ape Capital, where we use our treasury to invest in new upcoming projects. That means we are in partnerships with Dinger Catapult, and Dinger Catapult is launching tokens, projects. But what if your project needs funding to have a better liquidity? What if you need more money to launch safely? This is where we come in, and you don't have to go and raise the money yourself in private sales and pre-sales. No need anymore, because you come to us, we will audit your project, and if we see that you can actually deliver what you promise, we will invest in your project before anybody else. Let's say this should be the private sale round, but only we are buying your private tokens, but we will never sell them. Okay, so in exchange for our funding, we receive private tokens. This way, we ensure that nobody else will be able to sell these pre-sale tokens on a much, much higher market cap and larger price and harming the chart, because we promise that we will never sell the tokens that we purchase. This way, this is adding an extra level of safety on top of the audit and everything else that you are seeking for when you're investing in a project. You have been investing in projects, I'm sure, that were funded by private sale and pre-sale. If you would invest in a token that has been funded by us, you don't have to fear that we will sell these tokens, because once we invested and received the tokens, we will lock them, burn them, or later on airdrop them to the community. We get our revenue from the volume of the projects that we are investing in. That means that when we are investing to you, to your project, you give us a tax cut from your project, a very small amount of tax that we will collect. Okay, this tax is going back into our treasury. Now, you may ask, okay, but what next? This is our third utility, and this is staking. Our staking platform will launch approximately 1 week from now. And this is not an ordinary staking platform, because you may stake there and earn native tokens. These are apes tokens, but only if you are below a 1% holder. If you have 1% of the total supply, okay, so you bought enough tokens to hold over 1% or 1% of the total supply, you will be upgraded to receive ETH rewards from the revenue that we get from our investments. Now think of it this way. I will explain to you in an example. I'm going to invest in 5 to 10 new projects in the next 3 months. And if I invest in these projects,
I think guest had some internet issues, so he will be joining back again. So be here with Cryptomallu community.
Hello, I'm back. I'm sorry, my internet connection broke up and I had to connect again, so I'm back.
No problem. You can continue from where you left.
I'm sorry again. So I was talking about an example of how the revenue would provide ETH rewards for the staking pool, correct?
Yes, we were talking about the staking. You were going to give me an example. You were going to explain me through the example. So yeah, let's start from there.
Yes, thank you. So let's say we invested in 5 to 10 projects, and each of these projects, just on the first 2 days, would reach at least 2 million volume, $2 million, okay, in volume. Then let's say we would collect 2 to 3% taxes from each of these tokens. Okay, for the simplicity, I will say 10 projects. That's 10 times the volume each time. Now, we collect 2% of the taxes from each. And when we got these taxes, this is in ETH already. So whenever we are receiving the revenue, we are going to split this revenue, and half of it would go back to the treasury, and the other half would fill up the ETH reward pool for our staking platform. That means that if we have a revenue of 100 ETH or 200 ETH, we split it, and 50 or 100 ETH is going into the revenue pool for the staking pool. Now, because only 1% holders are eligible to claim the ETH rewards in the pool, there are no tens and hundreds of stakeholders there to claim it. Only a couple. Right now, we have 11 1% holder. Okay, 11. That means that if only 11 guys are right now staking, they could claim from 100 ETH reward 10 per each. Okay, this is huge, and this is only at that given week or day. We have a different staking system, so you may have to stake for a week or maybe a month to receive more rewards. But this way, we are not dependent on one single volume, our own token, but we are claiming the revenue from multiple other projects that we are funding. This is our third
Okay.
utility.
Okay, Capricorn, I have another question here for you because we are talking about staking now. So you know that staking has always been favorite feature for all the investors and traders. So how is the Hype stake different from other staking mechanism for token apes, token ether, and airdrop?
Thank you for the question. It is different for three reasons. First of all, we split the staking uh, pool to two groups. Okay, anyone who has 1% will be able to only claim ETH rewards. Okay, anyone below 1% will be only able to claim the native tokens. This way, we ensure that the big holders of the token will not take away the reserve for the native token pool. So they are not going to get more and more native tokens. Nobody will get more than 1% of the total supply. And this leaves us with an opportunity to give this massive amount of tokens to the small holders. Therefore, we will ensure an extra amount of APY that they can receive. For the same reason, because we are not paying the small holders ETH, the ETH rewards will be able to be collected by only the biggest holders, the 1% holders. The second reason why we are doing so is because we want the small holders to gain more and more tokens and soon to be eligible for the 1% pool to get the ETH rewards. So we have big holders getting ETH rewards and not native tokens. So they don't sell the native tokens for profit in order to get money from the staking. They already get ETH rewards. So they can either buy more or simply claim the reward itself. They don't have to sell or unstake their tokens. They can keep growing their revenue from a simple investment, whatever the market cap is. The small stakers, those who don't have 1%, will be able to grow their holdings. They don't have to buy more and more tokens. They can, of course, but they can slowly increase their holdings and then soon to be eligible for the 1% reward pool. This is another example why we are different. The third reason is why we are different because our ETH reward pool is not supplied by an existing pool. Okay, it's not supplied by our own revenue. It is supplied from taxes coming from other projects that we have funded. This is a brand new model, and nobody else has probably done this. We haven't found any other project so far that has done this by investing in other projects, helping them get a huge volume, and from that percentage of this huge volume, we would pay out the stake rewards.
Okay, thank you, Kipita, for your answer. We are really loving your staking mechanism. It looks very unique and specific. So now next, I'm going to ask about your dynamic TX and how it is unique. Also, how do you think that positive or negative prices impact can affect the base fee? Can you please explain about the base fee you have given on your website and your roadmap?
Yes, thank you for the question. As I mentioned earlier, I will explain what is dynamic text system. This is something completely new, okay, in the crypto scene. Nobody has done this before. This is an innovation on par with deflationary tokens and other really innovative and widespread tokenomics. Okay, we are expecting a lot of new projects to use this dynamic text system to make their projects more safe because dynamic text system works in a very sophisticated way. It's called dynamic because the tax fee, the transaction fee, is set for a base amount which is 10%. The base tax fee is 10% for buying and selling. However, uh, upon buying the token, we will check what is your positive price impact on the chart. Okay. Now, if you have more than 5% positive price impact on the chart, we will start to lower the base fee. So if you have plus 8% positive impact on the chart, you would only pay 8% taxes. If you have 16% positive price impact on the chart, you would only have to pay 6% taxes. And gradually we are increasing this price impact, and based on the increased positive price impact, we are decreasing the tax fee. So this way we promote larger buys. We promote whales to join the chart. Now, you may ask, okay, but what about the sells? Now, dynamic text system is working the same way on sells, but it is checking minus or negative price impact. So the more you sell, the larger your negative price impact will be. And if you have a larger negative price impact, we will increase the taxes. The system is on the website, so you can study it. But with this way, we encourage large buyers to support the chart and discourage large sells. Because if you want to be an ethical trader, this is something that is not teached around the trading circles. Some of the big influencers are trying to tell this publicly to make the people understand that it is very nice if you have made a huge profit on your investment, but you have to think of everyone else. You can't simply be one of the first investors and then have 100x revenue on your investment and take it out immediately at all-time high, and then literally nuking the chart, ruining the experience for everyone. Many investors say who are trying to influence the way people invest to be ethical, take out small profits, okay? And this is what we also support. We don't tell you not to sell. We are not limiting sales. We only tell you that, hey, if you decide to sell with a minus 20 negative price impact, you would have to pay an additional fee on top of that. So you would not pay 10% sell tax, but you would pay 20 or 30% sell tax. It's all based on how much you impact the chart. Okay, now we collect this and we will reinvest it or do some buybacks to support the liquidity with it. This is very important to mention here that we will use the treasury not only for investments, but because we have 25% of our circulating supply locked away to reward the stake pool holders with native tokens. At one point, this 25% of the supply will decrease because we would have so many stakeholders that they would claim more and more tokens. Now, in order to make our stake pool and our stake platform sustainable, this is something that not many stake platforms are caring to do. We are going to buy back tokens, and with this action, we are not simply supporting the liquidity with ETH, but also supplying more tokens, more native tokens to claim in the reward pool. This is a very easy system where we create a sustainable staking model. Since we are buying back the native tokens, it will not run out. The APY percentage will always be stable and the same on the long term. And since our ETH rewards are coming from our investments, it's also sustainable and it's not dependent on our trading. Now, an additional thing on top of this dynamic transaction system. Right now, as per my understanding, only we can do it. If you are a developer or a project owner or somebody who wants to launch a project and would like to understand more about dynamic transaction system, feel free to reach out to us or follow our socials because we are going to release a series of Medium articles that will explain in detail how this works. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kritika, for explaining so nicely. I hope everyone got the concept of dynamic PX and the price and the base fee. So now I want to know about your Hype Army. I have read that on your website and on your roadmap. Can anyone who was like investing in your project can be added in the team? And what's the role of this army? Like, who are the persons to whom you are going to add in your army?
This is a great question. Hype Army is a service actually that we are creating from our community. We understand that it's very necessary. This is our top priority to have a very strong community. And we don't want the community to simply be a part of it actively just for their own sakes. No, we created Hype Army to reward them. Now, Hype Army is basically an army for hire. The more it grows, the larger the army is, the more successful it becomes. Right now, we have close to 50 or even more Hype Army members who are always going on missions and collect ETH bounties. We have ETH rewards for you. And if you are one of the best shillers and the best participants of the Hype Army, you will keep getting rewarded. So if you want to join the Hype Army because you are such a good shiller or you would need some money, you just have to enlist, join the missions, and you will be able to claim the rewards if you were the best. We will track your activity. We will track whether you were the best or you shared the most effectively, and we will reward you. We also have a ranking system in the Hype Army. So the more time you are the best, the higher in the ranking level you go. And if the higher you are, the larger rewards you can collect. We are starting with a 0.01 ETH reward on level 1. By level 5, you would get 0.05 ETH for being the best one. On level 10, you would get zero point 0.1 ETH. And as you can imagine, we will create more and more levels the more you guys are shilling. So in the future, if you are a very, very, very good shiller, keep getting to be the best. And you may reach the level 50. Each time you win a mission, you may get 0.5 half ETH for your work. So join the Hype Army, wait for the missions, and chill. You had another question that can anybody who invested in the project be added to the team? If you are not only a Hype Army member, but you are a very, very active and uh, constructive member of the community, we have an ever growing mod group that is right now sitting at 20, maybe 30 mods who are also investors and were elected to be mods on the chat. So if you want to be a team member, start to be active, engage, and then you will be hired to be a mod. Most of our mods are volunteers already, but in case we would need more, we will, of course, open listings to apply for it. Uh, I think I've explained what's the role of this army. I have to highlight again, in the future, any project will be able to hire the Hype Army for such shilling missions. So if they want to hire the Hype Army, they don't have to pay an influencer. They don't have to pay a single call channel because for the same price, or maybe even half of those prices, we would have almost 100 or maybe 1,000 in the future that are individually shilling for you for hire. Imagine 100 or 1,000 individuals, not bots. Okay, so these are not algorithms. These are men, these are women, these are people out there who are working to get the mission and to get the bounty. This will have a huge impact on anyone's future marketing when they are hiring the Hype Army. They are mercenaries for hire. Thank you. We can move on to the next question.
Thank you, CryptoCat. I think this feature is really very attractive for all the investors. They may join your project and investing in that. I have a last question for you, and I want to know about your events and achievements on roadmap because you know that roadmap is always which fantasize investors and encourage them to look forward for the project. So, what are the innovations we can expect in the future from the HYPAP?
So, first of all, our roadmap is currently at the brink of stage 2. We have launched successfully. We achieved a treasury worth over $100,000. Initially, we have from the start $170,000. We already spent over $50,000 for marketing and to achieve a larger network. Stage 2 is not simply to start investing in the first projects that we have found for us and audited, because right now we have 11, maybe 18 new projects that we are currently auditing for investing. And once we started the first investments, we will have the first revenue and we will be able to fill up the ETH reward pool. The next milestone is the release of the staking platform. After we release the staking platform, the third milestone that I would like to achieve very soon is to reward these 1% holders further. So it's not only that they can claim the ETH rewards, but I want them to stake for longer. And we will release a very special NFT series that will be mainly available only to 1% holders. So this is like an achievement for you, because if you have staked for long enough, you will receive this very rare and very hard to achieve NFT picture. Okay, so this means in the future, let's say right now it's 3 ETH to get a 1% back. Now, if you got your 1% holdings and you got NFT for yourself, that would have a value, for example, of 3 ETH. But what if by the time that you would get these NFTs, 1% back would be 60 ETH in value? That would mean that the position that you are holding in the staking platform would have the value of 60 ETH. And by giving you an NFT, we are marking this for you as well as a milestone that here is it, uh, an achievement for you, that you are a diamond-handed holder and you get this 60 ETH worth of NFT for your position. And you will be able to claim it after the staking is out, because afterwards we will work on having our very own NFT debt. Now, our next milestone and next innovation is creating a network of launchpads. We started with the Dinger Launchpad, our very own original and starting partnership, which we are very grateful for, and we keep working with them in the future. However, we would like to expand our empire, and by this, we will start working on new connections and new networking to reach out and have partnerships with other launchpads. This is what happened yesterday. This is not yet official because this launchpad hasn't announced it yet, but they will very soon announce it, that they are right now starting a partnership with us. This is the second launchpad, which is doubling our capacity. They will bring even more projects to our venue, and we will be able to support them as well. That means the more we invest, the more revenue we can generate. And half of this revenue will be always claimable on our staking platform for the 1% holders. We have quite a large future, and we have something that we have planned for, but this is something that we try to keep as a surprise for the future. This is the step 5 in our roadmap, when we will announce what exactly will become from the Ape Capital, because Ape Capital will keep growing, our treasury will keep growing, and our focus will soon shift from not simply being the only one to invest into projects, but to open it to everyone else. So stay with us for the long term and find out what are we planning to do.
Sure, Capricat. Thank you for your answers. And here we have completed our introductory session. All the questions from Cryptomallu community towards Hype apps. So now it's time for Twitter questions. So are you ready for that?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to select some questions from the Twitter, and Mubashir Ali Turka is asking, can you list one, two, three killer features of this project that make it ahead of its competitors? What is the competitive advantage your project has that you feel most confident about?
Thank you. First of all, I've already, I think, listed these features, but I will list it again. The first killer feature is the dynamic text system. Nobody has it, only us, and we are the pioneers of it. We created it. And then, let's say, 1 year ago from now, you will see many, many other projects who will use the dynamic text system. And each of them will know that it originated from our project. The second killer feature is the fact that we are the first seed venture capital for newly launching crypto projects. Okay, this has been tried to be done before in different ways, but not as industrialized as we are doing. And of course, the third killer feature is that the 1% holders of APES tokens will be able to claim every time half of the revenue that we have from our investments. Okay, half of the revenue. This is huge, and there are not many 1% holders, because every single time we would gain one more 1% holder, it would be much harder to become another one, because the price would keep climbing. Okay, it would keep climbing exponentially by the time we have more and more 1% holders. And it is one thing that I forgot to mention when I introduced the project. Right now, we only have half of the circulating supply out there from the total supply. Okay, so half of the total supply is circulating, only 50%. And right now, already, I think 15 to 20% belongs to 1% or close to 1% holders. So hurry up, because by the time we will reach 30, 40% of 1% holders, the price and the market cap will make it very hard for you to buy a 1% back. And these past three killer features, I thought, gives us a huge competitive advantage to our project, because nobody else is doing it. We are the ones that are only doing it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, CryptoCat, for answering the question. So now, second question from the Twitter, Alex is asking: Your Hyper App ETH project name is seems to be interesting. Does it have any story behind it? Can you share with us inspiration for approaching this name?
This is a very funny story. As I mentioned earlier, that the whole idea and the project originates from a very passionate group of investors. One could call it an alpha group, because we are always discussing newly upcoming trends. Sometimes we ourselves are creating the trends. You may not know, but we were the first ape token that launched before the ape trend that is currently ongoing. So we are always ahead of the trend, and we know what will happen next. By the time that we were talking about what investments should we do in the future, we started to talk about, okay, we are the apes. What should we do? We should create our own project ourselves that we are proud of, that we can ape freely. And uh, we started to hype each other up. And we usually do this. And this way, we realized that we are creating a hype for the apes. And this way, we got the name itself, Hype Apes. And we have our own slogan: hype the apes, ape the hype. And this is the only thing you need to be successful in crypto. So this was the brief explanation of the origin of the name. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you, CryptoCat, for answering the question again. So now the third question I have chosen is from the crypto growers. He's asking, do you have any audit? If yes, kindly share. If I invest 2 BNB in your project, then how much will I get after 6 months? Is there any referral program also?
Well, first of all, yes, we do have a tech rate audit, which is 99.9% spotless. There is virtually no issue with our contract. Okay, we haven't received any complaints yet, and there are no issues with our audit. In the future, when our staking platform will be released, we will have a grand certic audit that will cover both our token smart contract and stake smart contract. So in the future, you can expect a static audit as well. But it takes time. So we wanted to have a tech rate audit first to prove you guys that we are legit and safe. And come and go a couple of weeks when Certic will finalize their audit, we will have that as well. Now, if you invest 2 BNB, you will not get anything because we are an ETH project. But let's say you invest 2 BNB worth of ETH in our project, then uh, I can tell you, you will stake it when the stake is out. You will be able to gain more apes tokens, and then after 6 months, you will not only have that value at the time that we have. I will work for having you 100x or 1000x profit. But what's more important, you will have the chance to grow your apes portfolio, your apes bag during these 6 months. And by the time you unstake, you will have way more tokens, way more. You may be even upgraded to a 1% holder ETH reward pool and collect the ETH as well. Without selling, you would have ETH that you earn from this project. And no, we don't have referral program. We have the Hype Army program and nothing else. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, CryptoCat. We appreciate your answer. So, next question I have chosen from Tran is asking currently the market is quite gloomy. So, in your opinion, what is special about your project to create success at the present time?
So, first of all, the market is not gloomy. ETH just spiked and BTC just spiked. The whole market just spiked, and we expect crypto spring to happen by the coming weeks. If you check, we recently grew from $2,500 a piece for ETH to 3,000. BTC jumped from 37,000 to 42,000. A huge growth, and it's not stopping. It's going to grow. It's going to reach another high. Maybe we will have some downsides, but we expect the next bull run very soon. So I have to disagree. Market is not gloomy. However, the project itself is very special, and the success that we are creating at present time is not related to the market performance. You have to understand that we are creating a new kind of source of passive income, because your passive income is not coming from market and price actions. It's coming from our investment, institutional investment into new projects. And if you are staking 1%, you will be able to gain passive income like nobody else in the market. Okay, this is giving you something that at the present time nobody is doing. Okay, thank you for the question.
Okay, CryptoCat, thanks again for your answer. So, I'm going to choose the question from the Twitter is okay. Rupert, he's asking that can you explain the background of your team? How have you and your team carried out this project during the current pandemic?
Thank you for the question. I can only say positive and great things about our team. Initially, we have 12 member in this team, and we have a very diverse and very global team. We have people from Asia to the Middle East to Europe and to the US, all different sections for the team itself, all different departments. We have 3 different marketing experts. We have our awesome PR who just during this week, the first week of our launch, has spent 2 days on in Dubai on the Dubai Expo, talking to huge market players in the crypto scene, huge crypto players. And next week he will be back in Dubai and with a lot more to tell them because we are advancing every single day. We also have a very, very, very great and success-driven team members who are helping me operate the business, who are helping me grow, who are helping the socials to run well. And on top of this, I'm always open to expand this team. So if you are an exceptional worker and a part of this journey and this community, you may get hired because the whole team has a salary. They are on a payroll because 10% is from our treasury is paid for their work. So I'm not expecting them to work for free. I'm not expecting them to work only for their bags. They are basically employees who are working towards the success of this project. And very soon, when we create our company, legal company, an LLC, they will be the first employers that are legally employed. On top of this, yes, in this current pandemic, yeah, the pandemic is passing, but we are working from a global scene. Nobody is working from one single point, and we are always here online every single time. Everyone is covering a different timeline. Everyone is covering a different task. So we have a very well put together, a very high motivated and success-driven team. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you, CryptoCat. We have completed our Twitter session, and thanks for every answer you have given to the community and all the members who have asked questions. Now it's time for the community live question. So, are you ready for that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, Cryptomallu Club community, please raise your hands and I will unmute you so you can ask any question about HypeApp to CryptoCat. So, yeah, we are having so many members who have raised their hand. So, first of all, I'm going to unmute Cyrus Black. Yeah, hello, Cyrus Black. You can ask your
Yeah.
question.
So can you hear? Am I audible?
Uh,
Yeah, we
could you
can
please
hear you,
So my
keep
question
but
is that
talking?
speak
as we know
louder.
that
Speak louder.
every project needs so much funds to survive in this competitive market. So how you plan to raise funds for your project?
We already have raised money for our project. We have over $120 worth of value in our treasury. And we raised it from our launch and in the past week where we were operating. And continuing our operation, we will invest in newly coming projects. And this will generate us a revenue, at least doubling our revenue from our current revenue. And we will invest in new projects.
CryptoCab, we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Are you there?
I'm back. Sorry again for the network disconnection. I hope you had my previous answer.
So you have completed your answer to Cyrus Black?
Yes, yes. So we are creating our own revenue besides from market prices from apes tokens. So we are investing and gaining revenue from our investments. This is how we grow our treasury.
All right, Cyrus Black, I hope you got your answer and thank you, CryptoCat, for answering him. Now I'm going to unmute another member and I am going to unmute Ice Wolf. Yeah, Ice Wolf, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello.
Hey there.
Do you have any plan for conducting any airdrop programs?
Yes, I mentioned that when we are investing in these new projects in pre-sale stage, we are acquiring their pre-sale allocation. This can be a given amount of percentage from their total token share. Now, since we are not selling these tokens, the project owner has the decision that we can either lock, burn, or give away these tokens to the community, to new holders. So we will have special events when we agree with these project leaders that the tokens that we purchase from them will be airdropped to those who enter special event stake pools. We will create a third staking pool every single time, but only for these special events when we will airdrop these new pre-sale tokens to those that has staked into this airdrop pool. This means that if you own apes, you will not only be able to earn native apes tokens or ETH, but you will be also able to earn third-party tokens. It's very rare that one could earn so many different kinds of crypto for owning just one token.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aswal, for your question and Kipikar for answering him. Now I'm going to unmute another member from the community and let's unmute Paul Fisherman. Paul Fisherman, you can ask a question.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my question is, can you tell us what differentiates you from other projects out there? And why should I pick your project over the existing one? I mean, from my favorite project, why should I choose you?
Could you please repeat your question?
My question is, what differentiates you from other projects out there? And why should I pick your project over the existing one?
Well, besides what I have talked about in the past, or do you expect any new kind of additions to the presentation? Because I think I have already answered these questions.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Listen back to the AMA, and you will see all of these answer to you.
Yeah, sure. We will share the recording so those who have questions so they can listen to the recording again. So now I'm going to unmute another member and let's unmute Kingsley Roy. Yeah, Kingsley Roy, please ask a question.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. How are you doing, sir? CryptoCaps.
Hey, thank you. It's
So,
been hard to have this connection, but please speak up, okay?
okay, my question is, I'm actually enjoying the AMA. Your project is very big and very large, very informative. So the question I'm proposing to you is regarding the space of the crypto, the blockchain, the metaverse, and everything in all, what is your project mission and vision for the community in general? And also, how can this drive the crypto space to its full potential?
This is actually a really good question because we want to change the crypto space to be actually safe. Right now, there are not many cautions and there are not many safety ledgers out there that prevent the average major uh, expansion into having more investors in this field. Because you may not know, but a large percentage of the current crypto investor market is only investing in blue chip crypto, and they don't even realize that they have the option to invest in much more other not blue chip tokens that have a lot more to provide to give them. And this is very important when these people realize that there are more beyond blue chip crypto investments. They will see that there is a safe way to invest. There is a safe way to find tokens besides the blue chip circle that is not going to rob, scam, or take away their money. Because it's currently the number one issue why people are not more widely accepting crypto in their daily life. It's because 99% of them thinks and believes it's a scam, then it's actually not. And it's many projects out there are scams, and they shouldn't exist. And we are trying to create a safe environment with both the launchpads that we are cooperating with and ourselves, because we are investing in these projects. And we want to show you that either one, the launchpads we provide a technical safety, so the contract and the function of the contract prevent scams, prevent failures. And me and my team will ensure through a really deep audit that the project will not fail. We will see that if there is a market fit, we will see if it can be successful. I will test the team leaders. I will see if they have every single thing necessary for success in their plans. And if they have it, we will support them. And in the future, when you see that there should be a badge on these projects website that it was approved by the Ape Capital because we invested in them. And that would mean that you guys don't even have to wait for tech rate or certic audit, because you would 99% be sure that this is a safe project, a long-term safe project that is not going to get you lose your money. Okay. And this is our impact in the future. This is how we want to grow, because soon people will see there are more projects, more and more safe projects coming out of our network of launchpads. And this will create a safe space. Okay, you won't have to do hundreds of different kind of double checks and triple checks and trying to see if it's a honeypot, if it's rugging you, if they have team tokens, if it's pre-pumped, or any other different kind of failure points a project could have, because we will get rid of them, each of them. And this should give that necessary belief, necessary safety for a much wider and larger acceptance of our crypto projects. Okay, so maybe in the future, when we have 10, 100, maybe 1,000 projects, there will be a different variety of tokens out there that you would by default know that are safe. And you wouldn't even try to invest in any other, because you know that if they are not launching with Ape Capital or those launchpads that are in our network, you would not even trust them. You would only focus on those that we are launching. I hope this answered your question.
Yes, of course. Okay, I have another question. Can I go on?
I think yes.
You mentioned a lot of things that caught my attention, but there's one thing in particular I would like to ask you about. You said holding your token, just your single token, can actually earn a holder or a user a lot of money. Because out there today, a lot of projects do come up with two different tokens, forgetting that the main goal of a token is how to stabilize the price in the market. I know of other projects like FabWealth and others that have been able to do that. So I want to know, how have your projects been coming up with a very good innovative to stabilize your token in the market, so that it will help its users to have a good and rest mind of chill, knowing that this project token is heading somewhere?
Uh, you have a very great question again, because if you think about it, we aim and push the community that we have, the investors that are investing in HYPEAPES, to go for staking and go for holding 1%. Now, if you do a little bit of math, you will see that we are on the way by every single new 1% holder and every single staking to become very stable. So our market cap will show a price. Okay, so market cap should reflect the value of the project. Okay, not a deflated value, but an actual value. And we are intending to show this through how many people put the faith in us, hold 1%, stake it for long term. And this, at one point, they calm down at a very high market cap. And people would really fight for these 1% spots. And there won't be much volatility in it. And since we are trying to open the treasury to the public, after we reach a point, we are going to take away the focus from actually trading Hype Apes token. We will push the focus on being able to add your funding to the treasury and be a part of the funding of new projects, and therefore even further stabilizing what we are creating.
Thank you very much, sir. That was great.
You are welcome. Good questions.
Okay, thank you, Kingsley, for your brilliant questions and CryptoCat for answering them very well. Now we're having last member from the community, and let's unmute. Oh, that's difficult. So many members here, hand raising. I think Crypto Dude. Okay, Crypto Dude, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi there.
So my question is, what's the total supply of your token? And also, could you please share a detailed tokenomics of HYPEAPES token supply distribution?
Token supply and the distribution of the token is simple. When we launched, we released 40% of the total supply on Uniswap. It is currently the circulating supply, and we had a small pre-sale. This pre-sale is vested. We allocated 20% of the total supply to the pre-sale investors, but they only received 5% of the total supply, 1/4 of the allocation at launch. Every single week, we release another 5% of the total supply. So 25% of the total, the allocations are put out in the circulation. But you have to understand that these tokens are not put in the circulation because they most probably won't be sold by the pre-sellers, because everyone wants to accumulate tokens and to have a 1% to get the ETH rewards from staking. And this way, we ensure that by the time all the token allocations are out and no more vested tokens are waiting, it would be, again, only 60% of the total supply that is either held by someone or is in circulation. By my calculation, if we release all the vested tokens, we would have at least 30% of the total circulating supply already held and not traded. And the truth is that right now we still have 10% to be airdropped, so we have 50% of the total supply circulating, and only 25% of it is actually out there being traded. So it's already a very high floor that one would expect. This is why we have a very stable price between 500,000 and 1 million market cap right now, and it's climbing every single day. Organically, it's climbing. And you have to know that we haven't actually started big marketing, because we believe that we want to give space for actual true holders that find us and we hold, because their belief is to stay with us for a long time. And this is why we have a very stable price between 500,000 and 1 million market cap.
Hello, CryptoCat. Have you finished your answer?
Excuse me, I'm back. But I think I have answered your question. The remaining percentage will be 25% is reserved for the stake rewards, the native apes token stake rewards. This will supply the stake rewards, and the remaining tokens are reserved for centralized exchange listings. So we will create liquidity with these tokens, but these are all locked away, and currently our circulating liquidity is locked for 1 year already, and we will extend it soon to further. I hope this answered your question. I'm sorry that my connection broke here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, CryptoCat, for answering everyone's question and everyone here who joined the voice chat and participated. CryptoCat, do you want to say something in the end of the voice chat as something to my community?
Yes, I would like to welcome your community because I know it's very hard to sometimes follow on such a complex project. I want you guys to try to read our white paper where we explain everything. We even have a light paper with nice visuals. And if you have questions, if you have concerns, reach out to us. We will be very happy to answer you. And the most important thing is, if you are a future project owner who wants to launch a project but has no funding, we are your solution. Come to us and we will discuss the possibilities for your funding. And thank you for being here and thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, CryptoCat. We are very grateful for your presence here and thanks for giving your time, explaining everything, every question. We wish good luck to your project and have a good day. Take care and yeah, finger crossed to your project. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish the same to you.